Hello everyone and welcome to the 1000 subscriber special. Thanks for the support. Let's go to 2000. But here I got the tier list and the thing that's what I promised at least. And I recorded this on first instant, but then it was like 40 or 50 minutes long. So I was like, no, that's not gonna be a thing. I'm gonna do this in 3 parts. So I'm going to do it again. I made a few changes and now I have a thing that I know where every role belongs right now. So yeah, I will explain you how this works. It's just as you can see, from an S to an F. S is highest, F is lowest, and I'm going to judge by how I feel about the role. It's not like how strong it actually is, but it's like, is this good in the game? Do I like to play as this role? What elements does it bring to the game? It's really like a personal thing, and I would definitely want to hear your opinion on my choices, or just your choices, how you would have ordered them. But today I'm going to start with 16 roles, and let's start with the Grumpy Grandma, which is going to be an S tier role instantly. I love to play as Grumpy Grandma. It's so cool to mute people, it's so funny, and it's so annoying, but it adds a lot. I'm happy it's in the RV and that it's not a known role, because if everyone knows that there is a Grumpy Grandma in the game, then it's a bit boring. But it's like, yeah, you can really surprise people, and that is what I really like, the surprise element in the game, and the Grumpy Grandma has that, like the Avenger as well. I will come on that one later on probably. So yeah, the Grumpy Grandma, definitely gonna get an S tier. Now it's time for the Guardian Werewolf, and the Guardian Werewolf, well, I don't feel so well about the Guardian Werewolf. It's recently added actually, so it's quite a new one. I don't have a lot of experience with the Guardian Werewolf yet, but the problem with the Guardian Werewolf is it just postpones the death, and well, the positive thing is that you cannot see that the Guardian Werewolf did it, and usually you see the Flower Child in the same game as the Guardian Werewolf. So that's a good thing, otherwise it would have been even lower. But yeah, playing as Guardian Werewolf, I think it's kind of fun. I haven't played that so often, maybe once, and I didn't win. So yeah, that's also why there's no how to play as Guardian Werewolf just yet. But I really don't like the Guardian Werewolf that much, honestly, but maybe you think it's a good role, I don't know. Yeah, that's just for the Guardian Werewolf. And then it's time for another relatively new role. It's added this year, the Werewolf Berserk, and the Werewolf Berserk belongs to the C tier, yes. It can be a little bit overpowered, but the thing I like is that jailers and gunners and doctors and seers really have to take in account that there could be a Werewolf Berserk in the game, or sometimes in sandbox you know that there is a Werewolf Berserk in the game, so it has some elements that are cool. It can be overpowered, as I told you, but that adds something as well, because you don't really want to be killed by the frenzy, let's be honest about that. So yeah, Berserk C tier, could be higher maybe, but in this case I'm going to place it in the C tier. It's an average role for me. Then it's going to be time for the Pacifist, and yeah, the Pacifist is going to be quite low. It's not F, but it's E. Yeah, Pacifist, I don't really feel really well about the Pacifist, honestly. I don't really like it. You can basically refuel anyone. That person can't do anything, so if that person is full, the game is wasted for the fool, basically. If the person is werewolf, then yeah, he cannot do too much, except for trying to give others attention, but he's confirmed werewolf. So that's the thing with the Pacifist. It's kinda annoying for the person who gets revealed. And on top of that, if the Pacifist, that's what you see in sandbox at least, reveals a villager that should actually not have been revealed, then he usually suicides. It's also depending on the type of player, of course, but yeah, the Pacifist is not my favorite role, honestly. It's like the Guardian Werewolf, but then a village one, and actually one that reveals the role. But it's not an F tier, because sometimes it can be useful, and sometimes it's cool to bait as Pacifist. That's also just saying. Then it's going to be time for one of the most well-known roles of Werewolf Online, namely the Doctor. And the Doctor is gonna get a B tier. Because I like the mind games that you can play with werewolves. Try to actually protect someone that you think that they are going to attack. Say that you're gonna protect someone and then actually protect another player and surprise the werewolves. And you can play nice mind games. It's hard to confirm yourself. And playing as Doctor, well, it can be cool. But since you get it, there's often a Doctor in the game. And I have played it like 100 times. Probably way more. But it's getting boring at some point to play Doctor. But still, I think it's a B tier. It's one of the better roles, that's for sure, to play as. So now, the Cupid. The Cupid is a really special role because actually it adds a win condition. It adds a team in the game. And for that reason, it's gonna get an A tier. And that's high. Maybe you think like, this should be lower. Maybe you say, why not S? Damn, hypo, why not S? Maybe you say that. But I really want to put it on the A tier. It's cool to play Cupid. Well, that's actually its flaw. It's not really cool to play Cupid. The thing that the lovers are in the game, that is really cool and deserves an S tier. In that perspective, I would put it here. But to play as Cupid itself, you don't have any abilities after the first night. And that is not cool. And you pair people that you don't know what the roles are. And of course, that creates random situations. And I think that could be good. But the Cupid itself could be a little bit more useful if we would be able to pair on the second night, for example, because then you can pair two werewolves, or you can pair, I don't know, two roles that you think like, okay, hey, they can actually win, or hey, we can actually win easier with the village if I pair two werewolves or a solo killer with another solo killer, or a solo killer with a werewolf, I don't know. But anyways, Cupid tier A. It's one of the better roles, that is for sure. You cannot argue that. Then we are going to talk about the Gunner, which is gonna be an A tier as well. Because, well, Gunners carry a lot of responsibility. You have 2 bullets. It's also really easy. The random part of it is like a really bad thing in my opinion. I hate it when you get random shots. I get why people like to do that sometimes. But it's in general really annoying, and that is also something gonna be with another role that I'm gonna do in the next video. Probably that role is gonna get higher than the Gunner, but quite similar to the Gunner. Maybe you can already guess it. But yeah, Gunner A tier. It is cool to play as Gunner, but the only flaw is that they random shoot, and then you waste games for villages. There's so much responsibility. It's cool to play with that responsibility sometimes. Some people don't like it, some people do. It's also depending on the mood. For me, like sometimes if I'm really tired, if I'm not paying attention, then I absolutely don't want to be Gunner. Then I don't get in the story of the game. But sometimes if I'm feeling well, if I'm giving 100%, then I like to be Gunner, so that you can actually carry the village. So yeah, A tier for the Gunner. Then the 8th role that we're gonna talk about is the Jailer, and the Jailer has to be on the S tier. Yeah, it's basically a Gunner with 1 bullet, but it's so cool that you can lock people. You have a lot of power. It's not even a lot of responsibility. Well, you have some, but the Gunner has way more responsibility in general, I think. And it's cool to lock people and have those private chats. Sometimes you can use them for just personal stuff, maybe promotion, as I have done in the past. Yeah, it's cool to play as Jailer. You can do a lot of funny stuff, and you can also be important in the end of the game by jailing the correct person, or surprising the werewolves by jailing the Seer when they think that the Seer can be attacked freely. I don't know, but the Jailer has a lot of aspects that are cool to the game, and it's cool to play as Jailer, so definitely deserves the S tier. And also, by the way, I got 49 roles in total and 7 tiers. I want to have 7 roles per tier, so yeah, you can guess that a little bit. So now it's gonna be time for the 8th one, and this is the Spirit Seer, which is over here. Okay, it's gonna be a C tier role as well, because I don't know, it's a bit neutral to me. Like, it can be boring to play spirits here. I could imagine that. I haven't got a clip on it either, like the Guardian Werewolf. So yeah, don't have a lot of experience with this one. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe it should be in the A tier or the F tier. I don't know. Really want to know what you think about that. I'm gonna put it on the C tier purely because I don't have a lot of experience. But the concept of it, it's kind of cool. But there's a role that's somewhat similar, and that one is way better in my opinion. I love to play that role, although I have not played that so often, but it will come in another video. So now it's time for the regular werewolf. In the regular werewolf, yeah, I don't know, F tier. It's a basic werewolf. Personally, I don't really like to play as werewolf, let alone regular werewolf, because that is a really boring role. You don't have any abilities. It's gonna be F tier, and yeah, it's nothing else than that. F tier. Like, other werewolves are cool to play as usually, but the regular werewolf is kinda boring, I have to say. You have like 0 power. The best thing you can do is, yeah, giving the junior the chance to sell you, as in tell the junior that he can say that you are evil. That's what I usually do as regular werewolf. Sometimes it's hard to find the word, sorry. Now it's going to be time, the 11th one, like 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. So Beast Hunter is number 11, and the Beast Hunter, yeah, B tier. Like the name Beast Hunter. Yeah, okay, that's that's a stupid joke. But B tier basic role, it's quite annoying, and I'm always getting mad when I see Beast Hunters getting betrayed. And definitely if I am a Beast Hunter and I am getting betrayed by the village, they lynch me. And that's definitely the big flaw of the Beast Hunter, why it's not an A on the S or the S tier. But the big thing that I love with the Beast Hunter is that you can really play mind games with the werewolves, and that you can actually kill them. You have like the big surprises. You are bringing big surprises if you kill a werewolf with your trap. That is so satisfying, in my opinion. That satisfaction on its own deserves the B tier at least. So yeah, the Beast Hunter is cool, and also it adds a scapegoat to the solo role, so in that sense it's also important, but that doesn't really matter for the Beast Hunter itself. Beast Hunter B tier. Now it's gonna be time for the 12th role. We are gonna do 16 today in this part. It's gonna be time for the Sect Leader, and the Sect Leader, yeah, that one is not gonna be that high. It's going to be a D tier. I'm not a big fan of conversion roles. Though this is not a zombie, this is not the worst converter in the game. Sect Leader is kind of cool to play, it can be hard, but the problem with the Sect Leader is that you're also quite vulnerable. Yeah, I don't know, it's like, the only thing I can say about this, I don't really like conversion roles, but it's not a zombie. Geez, it's not a zombie, luckily. So it's D tier, it can't be high for me, it cannot be higher, but I think it doesn't deserve an F tier, for example. No, it's not that bad. So yeah, Sect Leader doesn't really need a lot of explanation. It's gonna be D tier. Now it's time for the Bomber, and the Bomber is actually probably my least favorite solo role, as in solo killer, because I would consider the Sect Leader and the zombie as solo converters, actually, just converters, and Fool and Headhunter are lynch roles. So the Bomber is gonna be the worst solo killer in my opinion for the E tier. In the first instance I placed it on the F tier, but I decided to do it on the E tier because it's not that bad. But you have like, not a lot of control. You can't get 3 people. The thing that I like with the Bomber is that you actually want to try your best to actually get as much kills via your bombs as possible. You try not to get the people that you have targeted get lynched during the day. That is the cool thing, but in general the Bomber, not a lot of control, and it does not really add a lot to the game in terms of the ability of on its own is not really changing so much. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I could imagine that a lot of people are gonna hate me because of this placement, but yeah, I would not place it higher than the E tier, honestly. Sorry for that. So now it's time for the 14th role, which is going to be the Aura Seer, and the Aura Seer is a B tier. Personally, one of my favorite informers. I like the system of the Aura, especially like the unknown, evil, and good, and definitely in comparison to the Seer, with the Seer, I have to say. And yeah, Aura B tier, it is not like my favorite roles, but it's a good role. It's a good role. I have to say that it's a good role, but I don't. It's like I'm not excited to play as Aura Seer. That is the thing that's missing with the Aura Seer. Although the good thing with the Aura Seer is that it's an RV, and that, or it can at least appear as RV, and it's a really cool role for a werewolf to simulate. That is why the Aura Seer is on this tier, in my opinion. Then we are going towards the last two roles for today. And yeah, we have to say the Fortman is gonna be F tier. Well, also here a lot of people are going to hate me because of this. Yeah, because people like to meme around Fortman, like, yeah, we wanna bait the werewolves or something like that. But the Fortman is just a basic villager, no abilities, so not a lot of excitement. Although it's kind of cool to play as Fortman in ranked, and also in comparison to the Beast Hunter, I like to play Fortman more. It's not as bad. It's not as bad to get lynched as Fortman, as for example the Beast Hunter, because the Beast Hunter has an actual purpose and the Fortman not, honestly. But it's cool to play as Fortman sometimes. But basically, you've no abilities. I can't place this higher like this. Yeah, it's not like it wouldn't be F minus, like another role that I'm gonna call right now, which is the Zombie. Yeah, Zombie, worst role of the game probably. Maybe another role could end on the F minus tier as well, but Zombie has to go to the F tier, no doubt about that. It is a terrible role, a converter, which is not my favorite thing, but games with zombies are almost always a instant wins for the zombie. Yeah, they have to feel like quite badly if they don't want to win. And even for the werewolves, it's so annoying to play against zombies. It's hard to track. You cannot really get rid of zombies if they have already spread. Like if there are 2 zombies, it's probably too late. You cannot really cancel the infection. Zombie games are bad, and definitely the Zombie belongs to the F tier. It can't be higher, guys. It cannot be higher. So yeah, this is going to be part 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and subscribe. Join the Hypo Discord, and of course follow me on Instagram on my account hypostein99. Anyways, hopefully I will see you in part 2, in which I'm going to discuss more roles, and see you later, and don't be a traitor. Goodbye.